Hey gang, welcome back to Smitty Sells Cars, where their miles are negotiable and the comedy is free with purchase. Today, I'm gonna show you how to test drive and look over a used vehicle the right way, so you don't end up buying a lemon disguised as a Lexus. Now, step one begins before your buns ever even hit the seat. Now, the most important thing, advice-wise, I can give you is never car shop by yourself. Having a second set of eyes with you to kind of help oversee things is a major asset to you. So don't be afraid to ask grandpa, your uncle, whoever in the family has way more buying experience than you, that's who you want to bring. So don't be afraid to ask them. Trust me, they want to get out of the house anyway. And don't worry, they'll record Matlock. They're not going to miss it. So just like Rex Kwon Do, no flying solo. Use the buddy system, or as I call it, buses. Bring you somebody smart enough to spot stuff. You can never go wrong with an extra set of eyes. If you arrive at the dealership and the car is already running, that's not a red carpet, that's a red flag. So when you get to the dealership, throw your hands on the hood of that car. Open up that hood, put your hand on the engine. If it's too hot for you to hold your hand on it, that means this vehicle was staged for you. It means they had it running for a little while just to make sure things are the way they're supposed to be. Huge red flag. Now, I would also advise having the salesperson start the vehicle once you open the hood. You want to have your nose, your ears, your eyes under that hood, looking, listening, smelling for anything that may seem amiss on initial startup. Don't be afraid to pull that oil dipstick and look it over really good. Does it look like syrup from IHOP? Burnt coffee grounds? Check the coolant. What color is it? Green, pink, orange, that's good. Milkshake colored, that's bad. And look at the belts and hoses. Did they look good? Does there dry rot? Do you see any cracks? And remember, you're allowed to sniff while you're in there. If it smells like Waffle House at 3 a.m., you probably got yourself a coolant leak. So the main reason I say use the buddy system when you go shop for a used car, while your eyes and ears and nose is under that hood when it first starts, you want your buddy back here keeping an eye on things at the exhaust. So what are you looking at the exhaust for? You're looking at the smoke. If it's got blue smoke, it's burning oil. If it's got white smoke, that means coolant. Black smoke just means that car has unresolved trauma. And if it just smells like something's burning, well, it probably is. And make sure you get under the car and look for leaks. If you can, ask them to put it on a rack for you. They'll be more than happy to drive it out to the shop, put it on a rack, get under it. Look it over really good. This is going to be your car. Now, before your test drive, it's a great idea to really look the car over. Is anything jumping out at you that you just can't live with? Because once it gets time to negotiate, you want to make sure you ask for those things to be fixed. The dealer may say, no problem, we'll take care of those things. They may say no, but you need to have those things listed and ready to be addressed before you sign paperwork. The other thing so many people don't do when they're looking at a car is look at what's going on the roof. Get up there, grab a chair if you have to. Stand on the door jamb. I cannot tell you how many people I know have bought vehicles without ever looking at the roof, only to find out later that along the racks, the rails, there's rust all over. The paint's gone. There's a huge dent that nobody pointed out to them. And it may not be because they tried to hide it from you. They may have just never looked at it. But once you buy it, it's too late. And really make sure you spend a minute going over just the wheels and the tires. Do they all match? Are they all wearing properly? Do the wheels have huge chips and nicks missing out of them? These are all indicators on how well this vehicle was taken care of by the last owner. So if everything matches, all the tread looks similar, the wheels don't look all boogered up from hitting curbs at Taco Bell drive-thrus, that's a good sign. And your tires actually have a born-on date as well. So make sure you look at that, because while they may look good, they could be older than dirt and dry rotting, and you'll never even know it. As you're getting in the car before your test drive, see how it feels. Can you get in and out of the car without dislocating a hip? And remember, you're going to be hauling people. maybe not a bunch of people, but can everybody in your family get in and out of the car with ease? If it feels like you're doing yoga just to sit down, this may not be the car for you. And I say that with love. If your teenager has to sit sideways like they're in a photo booth, or grandma needs a trampoline and a Sherpa to get in the back seat, that's a problem. So remember, you're not just buying a car, you're buying a lifestyle. And if it doesn't fit, you will absolutely regret every single drive you have in the vehicle. Once you got your seat positioned the way you like it, the steering wheel the way you like it, got your mirrors all dialed in the way you like it, it's time to start pressing buttons. And I don't mean 3, I mean freaking all of them. Nothing is worse than buying a used car and then finding out when you get home, that's crazy as hell. My USB charger don't even work. That's crazy. The navigation don't work. Says it needs a card or some sort of update. These are all things that are going to cost you more money down the road. So if it is equipped and has all sorts of features, you want to take a minute, touch every single one of them, make sure they work. Get these things handled before you put pen to paper. Now, don't be afraid to ask, can I go on the test drive by myself or just with my family? They shouldn't have an issue with that. However, you will come across a few dealerships that say our policy is that a salesperson, accompanies everybody for a test drive. Don't let that bother you. If that's their policy, just let the salesperson go with you. But a lot of stores, especially small ones like ours, if you want to go by yourself, that's 100% fine. Make sure you get to take the car wherever you want to go on the test drive as well. Don't let the salesperson dictate, what course you're going to take. Otherwise, you'll end up with a handful of right turns and a trip through a Wendy's drive-thru. On your test drive, as you pull away from the dealership, make sure you got all your mirrors and stuff set the way you like them. You want to check for blind spots right away. As soon as you get on the road, make sure you can see out of the car. Do you feel safe? Can you see everything you need to? All the safety features on these things now, you've got pillars and all sorts of weird places. And it could be, something that's a burden for you. Once you get going a little ways, you definitely want to make sure your brakes are good. So you don't have to jam down on them, but you definitely want to make sure it doesn't sound like a choir of tortured squirrels. How does the acceleration feel in the vehicle? Does it accelerate or is it considering accelerating? And like I do in all my test drive videos, you want to find a place where you can do some huge tight turns. You want to really crank that wheel. You want to listen for any kind of CV joint issues if your vehicle has that, but you're just listening. Is anything clicking? Is anything knocking? Is anything grinding? So make sure you find a place where you can do a couple tight turns, figure eights, mix it up. But really make sure you crank that wheel around a few times. You also want to check the alignment. So once you get going and have a place to do it, let go of that wheel. See if this thing's all over the place. Is it pulling hard to the right or left like it's trying to avoid back taxes? You want to know this stuff. Now you're back from the test drive. The first thing you want to ask about if you're considering moving forward is for the Carfax. The Carfax is the vehicle's diary, and trust me, you want to read it before you commit. It'll show you if the car was in any accidents, how many owners it had, if they serviced it correctly, if it lived its life in sunny Florida, or if it was in Wisconsin, rusting away. If a dealership doesn't offer a Carfax, that's like trying to sell you sushi without telling you what fish it is. Could be tuna, could be old shoe. And don't just peruse through the Carfax. Read it. Most importantly, check the VIN number and make sure it matches the car you test drove. You want to ask for the service records. If your family member has a code reader, you know what I mean, and you brought it, hook that thing up to the car. See if any codes recently have been cleared. Most importantly, never feel pressured. If the salesperson you're working with just keeps saying, hey, what if we did this today? Can we earn your business? What if we, and you haven't gotten all the information, this is just a sign of things to come. And here is one of my favorite all-time moves. Ask if you can take the car to your mechanic to get it looked over and have an inspection done. A reputable dealership should say, sure, no problem. Because if the car's solid, they have nothing to lose. But if the dealer suddenly turns into Scooby-Doo and starts mumbling, ruh-roh, you can't take it off the lot. Boss's orders. That's your cue to run. This should not be a big deal. You're not asking to take it to the moon. You're just asking to have your mechanic inspect it and go over the car to make sure it's a wise purchase. If they won't let you take the car to your mechanic to get it inspected, huge red flag. Find another dealership. This won't be your place. Now, I sell cars for a living. I've done this for a long time. I love it when a customer wants to get a car checked out properly. That means they're serious and ready to do business. You should never be ashamed for doing your due diligence. This ain't Tinder. Don't just swipe right on the first car you see. Now, don't try to remember all this stuff off the top of your head when you're staring down a shiny new car and a salesman with the gift of gab. Write it down. There's nothing wrong with taking a piece of paper with you to a dealership with a bunch of little bullet points you want to make sure you check. That's fine. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't go to the grocery store for one thing and come home with Pop-Tarts, paper towels, and no milk. So don't go car shopping without a game plan either. All right, future car owner, if you've made it this far in the video, you are now officially smarter than 90% of the people on the car lot. So let's review. Check the engine. Ask for the Carfax, test every button, bring a friend, drive it like you stole it, and if something doesn't feel right, walk away. There are plenty of cars, but only one you. So remember, don't just test drive, test inspect. That used car you're looking at has been through some things, like a middle-aged man with 3 exes and a motorcycle payment. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all the comments. Thanks again to all of you new subscribers for joining the party here on Smitty Sells Cars. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. What I did right, what I did wrong. I know you will share it all with me. I'll see you in the next one. And just remember, if you show up to your appointment at the car lot and that car is running, you know what to do. I cannot stress to you the importance enough to bring somebody with you with fresh eyes, good judgment, and preferably basic automotive knowledge. You know, not your cousin Ronnie who installed a stereo system in a '94 Civic one summer. He will be of no help to you. And yes, I really do call this system buses. Bring you someone smart enough to spot stuff. All right, and like I mentioned when I was... Because 2 heads are better than 1, and 4 eyes are better than 2. Unless all 4 of them are yours and you've been hitting the espresso. Tires actually have a born-on date on them, so, you know, it's not just for Mick Ultra. Because your buddy may find stuff that you miss, like a missing lug nut, or a glove box full of parking tickets. That exhaust. I'm about to fall over.